Hey, what's up, Jojo? All right, so I am back. Let me. Do you hear me? Okay. Hello. All right, our guest is here. Hi, everybody. Okay, no, your phone's not tripping. I was. Hello, hi, everybody that's coming in. We have Wayne that's going to be joining us here.
Oh,
Hello,
hey,
hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey,
Very
Mother,
nice
look
to
at
see
you.
you. I wish I could air
You
hug.
know, this is great. This is great.
Yes, very nice to see you. And I truly apologize for starting late. Normally, I would be starting at 6, but I feel that I definitely wanted to end that initial first live and start back so you have the full hour in length because you have a great story. You're a great person, and you do not deserve a minute less.
Hey, I
Of
thank you for that.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Oh, Vidal says, Wayne, what's good?
Oh, it's been a long time.
Good. Yes, it's been a long time. So to start, Wayne and I know each other from New York Fashion Week, and we're going to get into that story. It's going to be really great. So without further ado, we have Wayne here from Royal Ties, who's going to be sitting here having a conversation with us, and we're going to get to know him a little better about his business and just most of all, get to learn his story. So without further ado, we have Wayne. So everybody drop a round of applause. Yeah.
Hey,
So nice
guys.
to see you. I feel like I'm telling you, people, to see him on the live is one thing, but to be in his presence is really another story.
Stop.
Yes, it's really another story. So definitely, one day. So tell us the name of your. Well, I know you as Wayne. So explain who you are and also the name of your business.
Okay. Well, I go by Mr. Wayne. It is an alias in a sense. It comes from just embodying some things that I enjoy watching. Um, Actually, it's just funny. I kind of have a love for the Batman Bruce Wayne alter ego mindset,
All right.
but I really enjoyed watching how the gentleman aspect of him was enjoyed by everyone. It didn't matter. Yeah, he's a billionaire. Yeah, he
Right.
does things to the side, but people love that gentleman aspect, and I took that at a very young age and slowly incorporated that into my life and how I was perceived. So, of course, style came into play, how I like to look, when it comes to my dress and my attire. And then both kind of joined together at some point. And right now, I just make sure that when people see or hear who Mr. Wayne is, that they understand that besides my presence, there needs to be a standard that needs to be raised. No
Right.
matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, no matter what you're wearing, that you should still hold a gentleman quality to yourself, that you should still make people think about you and realize, hey, that person has something after you're gone, after you left the room. So I like to embody that and make sure that the people around me, the kids that see me, that I'm setting that same example through the
Wow.
alias Mr. Wayne.
Wow, well said. I truly love everything that you just stated. I think one thing that really resonated with me at this time was when you mentioned being able to have a gentleman quality no matter where you are or what you're doing, but also holding that standard high. So I do have
Absolutely.
one small minor question to that is what is one kind of like trait that you're pretty much famous for? If somebody says, oh, okay, they see something, they're like, okay, I definitely thinking about you.
Hmm. Okay, well, there's a few.
Well, name all of you. We don't want
Okay.
to we don't want to pigeonhole you.
Main thing is the bow tie. If they see the bow tie, if they see something that's completely left that no one could really pull off, they're like, Mr. Wayne got that. I know for a fact. The glasses. I don't have them on now because there's no sun, but if you see the frames, and that's a Mr. Wayne look. And just staying nice in my attire. I love it. I'm very comfortable here, whether it's really hot or really cold. I'm decked out from head to toe, so I just
Wow. And
I
that's
embody
not even
that.
an understatement, people. That's facts. And if you guys saw the flyer that was on my IGTV and also on my main post, you had the sunglasses. And that's a fun fact if you guys didn't to see what he's talking about.
Mhm.
So definitely very interesting. Moving along to the next question is, where are you from originally and where do you live now?
So both questions have the same answer. I am born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio.
All right.
So I haven't left yet. A lot of people want me to. I've been, looking around, but it's got to fit, where I'm going in life and what I want to do with my career. So as right now, Cleveland, Ohio still looks to be a perfect place for me to continue to grow my business and advance, from there.
Wonderful. And I think that once you hear about like styles and stuff, you hear about like New York, Miami, Milan, a lot of these bigger cities. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that even with you staying in Cleveland, hey, you're going to make Cleveland the next fashion capital. You never know the possibilities. So I like
Absolutely.
that approach. Yes.
Absolutely. Like we have, I would say Cleveland isn't dry or bland or boring. We have a lot of art. There are a lot of creatives here in Cleveland, and I enjoy being around them. We used to have space where we would be able to come into, let's say, a huge warehouse, and there's about 25 to 30 different photographers, 50 to 75 models.
Right.
You have graphic designers. You have designers that will just walk in and just, we're able to network, take pictures, create new aspects for ourselves later down our line. And those same people that I've connected with 4 or 5 years ago, I'm still very close with today, still
Very
able
good.
to collab with things, different things that we want to do. And it's all love. So knowing that fashion, music, art is all here, we do have the ability to continue to watch it grow and, let it cultivate it a bit instead of quickly leaving. So it's a weird catch-22 because sometimes you have people that want to leave, learn, and then come back.
Right.
Sometimes they leave, learn, and they stay. So I don't know exactly which route I'm going on that note, but I at least want to, wait, trust the process, and when it's time, I'll know what to do.
Agreed, agreed. And I think, like you said, that there's so many different possibilities within that, like
Mm-hmm.
myself included, for most majority of people that are here, they know that I used to live in Orlando, Florida, prior to living in New York. So it was always one of those things where I left, I wanted to learn. So I'm really not too sure if I want to go back. Well, Orlando, I'm not too sure if I want to go back. Not in a bad way, only because of job opportunities. And like you
Right.
mentioned, you want to be able to see where your career may take you and where you may be the best fit. So and this time I'm thinking selfishly as far as this career opportunity. If the career and opportunity is here, then I will stay here.
Yes.
So definitely. But I do have one other fun question to ask about that.
Okay.
In your opinion, if you wanted to you are going to grow your business additionally. If you could say, hey, I could just pick up and just stay in one city for maybe a year or two, where would it be? If there's cities, you can name more than one also. So there's no like standard question where it's pigeonholing yourself.
Well, I love New York. New York is great. Everyone swears that I need to be in LA. But LA's too hot. It's too hot for this sometimes. So if I do go out there, of course, I think my brand would shift towards that demographic. And the DMV area, I'm very curious as to how that would play out for my business. And I've seen a lot of creatives out there, a lot of different designers that have excelled in that area. So I think I'll look between those three. A lot of times I look towards some designers that I know from the South in Houston or Dallas. Yeah. But I feel that for me, I like to have that space to feel like I am able to cultivate, not in an oversaturated area. And I know a lot of people in that area that are doing well. So for me, I would rather move to other areas that have the space or the opportunity for something that they've never seen before. So
Agreed, agreed. And I always like to say, you know, what's for you will always be for you. It doesn't matter
Absolutely,
where
yeah.
you go, what you do. Once you're talented in something,
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity and everything else will come to follow. So like I said, I'm not worried about you at all.
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all. All I'd have to say is like, oh, I have to call up, hey, you know what? So very nice. So tell us a little about yourself and how you got started in fashion.
Okay. Well, let's see. It's always the hard part, just talking about yourself. I don't know why. Let's say, okay, well, I'm 32. I have been a fashion designer for 6 years in September.
Wow.
I birthed my business, The Royal Ties, 7 years ago. It finally became licensed 6 years ago. So, kind of neck and neck with that. And honestly, what got me started in fashion is, like I said before, I've always been an individual when it comes to how I look and how I want to represent myself. And being in church, we always had, you know, a nice outfit, a nice suit and tie. We also always had someone that made sure we looked great no matter what. And when all of the boys come to one person, he still made sure we all look different. So that
Nice.
also helped embody me being an individual. My dad would look a certain way. I would mirror that sometimes. So, you know, that's my twin now. And just from growing from those roots, I was able to find out what works for me. You know, and I want to say that 8, 9 years ago, no, 10 years ago. Wow, we're already at a decade. 10 years ago, I
Yeah.
put on my very first bow tie. And from
Wow.
that moment on, that changed me. I said, you know what? This is the look for me. I know it. I'm solid. This is it. And slowly learning how to tie a tie, slowly learning how to combine looks and patterns, I then realized this is something that I actually want to take seriously. So I went out and bought a sewing machine. I went to one class. I bought a lot of fabric and a few trial and errors for a year, but the Royal Ties became what is
Wow.
here today.
Wow, that's so exciting. One other question I
Thanks.
did have for you was when you were initially starting your business
Mhm.
and and you knew that, okay, this is something that I want to take this leap towards, what actual physical steps did you say to yourself? Did you kind of have like a goal date in mind? Did you kind of were like, you know what, I'm just gonna just do whatever, whenever, and see where it takes me? Or were you more like, you know what, I'm just gonna take this a little by little and set little small minor goals?
Honestly, I was shooting in the dark for a long time. I honestly wanted to just be this big designer. I wanted to captivate the world with my niche, and I wanted to take over Cleveland overnight. No, that doesn't work. So I had to get out of my own way of high expectations. And then also, based on seeing the failures in between that, I had to get out of my way when it came to fear. So, long story short, I had to set small goals, things that I knew that I could conquer within a short or an allowed amount of time. And then from there, based on what I've learned and the experience I gained, I would then create a new goal that seemed like I could obtain that. And I
Right.
just kept building that platform, and I just kept taking those steps, and I kept reaching for certain things. So in the same breath, I never stopped myself from going past a certain point. Like if I knew that I could create something that probably wouldn't capture everyone's attention, yet that one person would see it and say, "Oh my God, I've never seen that before," and I
Right.
love hearing that because that lets me know that I'm doing something right. I don't want to be the same looking bow tie designer or
Yeah.
luxury accessory designer. I want to create things that you don't see every day that will make your outfit pop, and you would love to come back and receive something else. I love custom. So if you're looking for something you've never seen, something that will have you stand out, That's what I stick to. So it
Wonderful.
took a long time for me to accept that that's where I wanted to be. And I'm glad that I took those necessary steps, because I would have just been following trends. And
Agreed.
as an individual that's used to looking a certain way, I need to stick to that. So
Agreed. And I think that it's not only not sticking to, what the trends are, not, really participating in that. It's about knowing your personal style and knowing who you are and staying true to that. Because like I just mentioned, I feel that, like you said, there's so many different fashionable things that's going on. But if you're identified by one particular look, everybody will know you for that signature style. And again, what makes it that much great is that it's you, it's who you are. It represents you.
absolutely.
Definitely. I love
Absolutely.
that. I love that. One other question that I did have, following up to that, was there anybody fashion wise that you looked to for inspiration? Was it maybe somebody you saw on TV, or maybe celebrities, or maybe movies, or anything that inspired you?
I want to say, at first, I definitely paid attention to Diddy, mainly because of his change in his direction. He excelled not only just in music, but he went into fashion.
Right.
Granted, he still had a whole look. It wasn't necessarily high-end fashion at the time. Yet once he made that switch, changing, the actual company to, Sean John, and representing the brand a different way, I definitely focused there. That was actually the first bow tie that I wore, was a Sean John bow tie.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so paying attention to the style, patterns, designs. What was he targeting, or who was he targeting? Really,
Yeah.
the demographic. Was it just urban, or was it high end? And I really follow people more so on, as I said before, the who and the what's versus just how it looks. And
Right.
by me studying that, I gained a sense of style that I wanted to conceive to the world. So
Yes.
it took some time. A few other people, honestly, I don't watch them that that specifically, but for Diddy and what he did and what he was doing at that time, it definitely impacted how I saw the royal ties to be.
Great. And I love that response, because I think anybody that knows Diddy and even knows what he's done for his business and businesses, he's
Yeah,
always made it something legendary. It's something that you can look back on 10 years from now, 15 years from now, back from
yeah.
the 90s until now, and still see the relevance
Hmm.
that he has right now. So I think that is a great role model to have, especially of how he's always evolving, making things relevant. But again, it's never something where everybody's following that trend. It's him, and it's
Right.
how he's doing it. So I love that. Spot on. You're definitely on to something there.
Thank you.
Yes. So this leads into my other question is, tell us
Okay.
about the inspiration behind World Ties. So I know that you mentioned that Sean John was the first bow tie that you wore, and that you've also mirrored your dad and also people from the church as well. What was that one tie that you personally designed, along with this question, that was like, you know what, this is my favorite?
So there is one significant moment that I do have with a bow that I
Please share. Yes.
So there was a lot going on. There was a lot of transition for me.
Right.
And of course, it's dealing with church, it's dealing with me and my look, it's my age. Um, so it was an Easter Sunday, and my dad, I want to say maybe 6 months prior, he decided to go bald. He has a whole beard, so this is literally who he looks like, me. So
Wow.
he's my twin. So I then am in this Easter play. I'm doing a character, and I'm hidden at the time. So no one knows that I've made this huge decision to go bald as well. At that same time, I had a whole outfit set up afterwards, and that was the presentation of my brand. The church had never seen it. So I made a very, very beautiful purple and blue bow tie. follow my patterns correctly, and it came out wonderfully. So I have it. I'm about to wear it, but I'm still hidden. I do my part. I take everything off, and I finish getting dressed. And that moment that people saw not only this new bald guy, but this bow tie that they've never seen before, that they instantly knew, you must have just made this. And
Wow.
I said, yes. And when I tell you, I gained so much of a beautiful feedback and response from it. It filled my heart. You know, I knew at that point, no matter what anybody said, no matter any apprehensive thought that I've had in my head, any doubts, that I was on the right path, that I was doing something great, and I was proud of myself.
Wow.
Very proud.
It's such a great story, because I think also everybody saw, you know, the detail and the work that went behind it. It wasn't just something like, oh, I just grabbed off the shelf from Sears. No offense to anybody that does, but they saw you behind that tie, and just seeing that come to life. They probably, and then they probably was like, what?
They didn't understand. They said, what's happening? So much is happening right now.
Yeah, that is amazing. I wish I could see that tie. Do you have a picture of it by any chance?
You know, I do. Okay, so we still do Flashback Fridays? I'm gonna drop it.
Yes, please do, and let me know when you do. So what I'll do is I'll repost it. So I'll be like, hey, remember that tie, you guys? This is it. So that would be great. That would be great. So tell us, how long have you been a stylist, as far as working with your clients and so on?
Okay, so I do wardrobe styling for the most part, and every once in a while I do an event styling. I've been practicing it, honestly, for the last, I want to say, 3 years. It's something that I wanted to, just like my business, take slow, really study and understand, because it's kind of a gray area, yet that's the point. You get to create how you work and where you work and what you excel in for your clients to say, okay, this is the stylist that I want to go to. So 3 years doing that, working with different, won't call them celebrities, but different artists, different authors, different popular people within the city, some out of state that I've taken care of, and any creative looks for them when it comes to what they're looking for a whole spring outfit or spring look. I'll take care of that as well. I've done work for artists for their photo shoots and for their videos.
Wow.
Done, you know, work for authors for their books, you know, just allowing whatever concept that they have, allowing that to become something that they can actually see and visualize.
Right.
You know, I don't want to necessarily say, hey, I'm the stylist, you got to follow me or what I think. I don't get any joy out of that. It's more so, hey, what is your idea? What do you want to see when it comes to your video? What do you want to see when people grab your book and notice your face, but your outfit as well? Like, what is that? What does that look like? So I get a joy out of helping them bring that vision to reality. Right.
That's great. I think it's almost like storytelling in a sense. Like, you're telling your story, your personality. And I think that it's very hard, like, especially in those clients that you just mentioned, authors and artists and stuff like that, they're visionary people and they're very visual. So being able to bring that idea and that vision together, I mean, like, you're the professional, so that's like nothing.
I love it.
That's great. I see I have one question here from someone, so let's see what it says. It says, what advice do you have for aspiring stylists who are looking to start? So I'll pin that.
Okay. So advice that I would give, other than starting slow, would be study the potential clientele. And by that, I mean your demographic. If you know that you like, okay, as a young lady, you may like a certain style of dresses or skirts, blouses, and the demographic or the type of people that may see your outfit may want to go in a different direction. At least study what that direction may be. Gain an understanding of that style, those colors. Also, of course, when it comes to any stylist, you have to know the quote unquote trends of the year, of the season. What colors are, you know, most popular? What style, what patterns? And from there, honestly, making it your own. collecting all of that information and still making it your own, so that the demographic, whoever may see you and want to be styled by you, already understands within themselves what they're getting themselves into, because they see the style that you have cultivated.
Great. I think that is such great advice. One advice I do definitely want to add to that is, start building a relationship with the showrooms and the people that you're going to start pulling the clothes from. So they're not like, okay, who are you and who are you designing? At least you can say, hey, you know what? If there's ever a problem, or if you ever run into something, that you have a designer or showroom or somebody that could definitely have your back and say, hey, why don't you pull this item? So definitely network and be able to use that to your advantage.
That's good. That's good, Marcy.
Yes.
Thank you for that question. That was really great. That was great.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, thank you. That was Solange. Thank you so much.
This leads up to one of the other questions I had was, what is the inspiration behind being a stylist and how did you start? So I think we did go a little bit about that while you were mentioning that, but I think whatever would you love to add to that, or if there's something that we missed, please do, because like I said, I love your story so much. So this is awesome.
I'll say this, what I can add is that I love a great outfit. I love going to parties, events with a black tie, or, a summer outfit and some shorts, or, a nice casual polo, and just seeing that one or two outfits that just pop, that just capture me. It's, wow, like, you really stepped out. You did that, and I'm the type, because I'm a designer stylist, or maybe I'm just me, I'll walk up to that person, hey, I just gotta stop the show real quick to compliment you on your outfit. I'm loving everything that is going on here. I'm loving the combination, the color, the pattern. I'm loving everything. So I've always loved a nice outfit, and a lot of people, especially once they knew of my career, they decided, hey, can you style me for this event? Or hey, can you help me, put this look together? And of course, nice guy, I help. I give my advice. I give my, tidbit, and see that they, one, enjoy, and then two, everyone notices it. So that automatically makes me very happy. So then I said, you know what? Let me take this seriously and start studying and finding out what avenues do I have within Cleveland to be a stylist. And 3 years later.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I see some comments going on here. Solange said, thank you. But I'll say he definitely did that. I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Val. Appreciate you, man.
Yes. Hey, Shan, that came in. Awesome. We got some people that's coming in. Again, share this live with your friends, your family, everybody, so they could also be inspired too, as much as I am. So that leads up to one of the other following questions, which is, do you follow trends set by the trend analysts, experts in the industry, or do you set your own trends? So I know this question is kind of like redundant in a sense, because I know you just mentioned about really staying in your lane and doing what works for you. So I would like to twist this a little bit, which is, I know that sometimes we see Instagram and celebrities try to set trends. Was there ever a trend that you saw where you were like, I like that?
That's a good twist. That's a good twist, Marcy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, there was. Now, what's crazy is, and I don't know if I should say it this way, but I'm gonna work it. I am already growing within my brand to do something much larger. I know we've had some conversations about it, but I'm going to excel and do other things. And of course, I can draw, so I'm creating graphics, creating looks, ideas, concepts that I'm sure no one has. And then a year ago, excuse me, I see someone created. Not exactly the way that I had it, but very close. Like their wavelength is connected to mine, because they understood exactly the route that they wanted to go with it. And I was speechless, not upset. I was just honored to see someone else with the genius that I was about to create. Now, I'm still in the works, still ready for it. And I won't say that it is quote unquote trending around, but based on his work and his career path, he is slowly gaining that rapport for the style that he's creating with his garments. And I'm wild. So if anyone ever sees it later on by me and says, hey, that looks like, I guess I'm guilty, because that's exactly where I was going. And I'm just honored that not only am I not the only person with the mindset, but that I'm sure someone else is going to take that a step further. And that also lets me know that, hey, fashion, once again, is universal. It's never going to stay in this one space. It's never going to stay on this one path of a trend. It's always going to recreate itself. Right. And there you have your own style.
Agreed. I think, like you mentioned, fashion is a like evolving circle, and I can't even say, oh, you may have took it from somebody. I feel that everybody has these different inspirations, and like for you to even have the idea and somebody thought about that same thing, that goes to tell you how powerful the mind is to say, hey, you know what, I want to see this happen. So it's almost like, you get what I'm saying.
Right.
That so trust me, I can't wait to see, you know, all of the things in store. So it's definitely going to be great. So people, I don't want to do too much talking. I gotta let them speak for himself. Definitely. So that leads into our next question, which Solange was talking about stylists, which is, are there any strategies on how you pick clothes for your clients? So I kind of really want to be specific with this question. Let's say that you have a client that doesn't really want to try anything new. They're really stuck in their own particular style, and they're afraid to try everything and everything. How do you work with a client like that to say, hey, you know what, trust me so I can be able to get you right?
So I've had those clients before. My first client was just like that. And you took the words right out of my mouth. Trust me. I got it. Just trust me. I understand. I mean, it's hard enough dressing yourself sometimes, let alone allowing someone else to dress you. And then, of course, the magnitude of whatever that event may be, or to know that someone else is going to see you and judge you off of that outfit. There's pressure. So what I like to do is try to make the client as comfortable as possible, knowing that, hey, we're not going to step too far out of your comfort zone, yet you didn't come to me for just some Levi's.
Exactly.
You want to look a certain way, just in the confinement of your sense of style. So let's play with colors a little more. Let's play with textures a little more, and slowly introduce them to those levels, those different levels, so that they can then gain that comfort
right
through and through. And let's say I had my first client, he wanted all black. I have no problem with black. I love black. But I want to add some texture to this black. I want to add some layers to this black. You know, I don't want it to just be black. So we ended up creating a really dope look. They did a really nice photo shoot. It was amazing. So they passed the word around. Some more people came, made mention of that outfit, those pictures, and loved it. And they said the same thing. Hey, I just want this look, or I just want to try this. Okay. Well, we're going to work towards building on that look, building on your comfort, because yes, that may be your sense of style, but more than likely, and I'm just saying this across the board, more than likely, people see a sense of style through a very small lens, and you gotta let it grow. You gotta build. I didn't wear bow ties all my life. I didn't put one on and realize that it fits, it works, and I stand out. I grew up not wearing vests. I did not like vests. I was a two-piece guy. Give me a suit jacket and my slacks. I'm fine. Within the last year and a half, I love vests. I don't know why. But my style is constantly evolving. So it takes those moments of, hey, this is my comfort. I'm going to build off of it, and then slowly integrate new things, new looks, to then say, okay, now I have a whole new sense of style. So that's what I do for my clients, and that's what I try to, keep going when it comes to me being a stylist, so that they are comfortable from the beginning to the end.
Wonderful. I loved everything that you talked about, because I think it's very important to really build that relationship for them to develop trust. Like, you trust the fireman to put that fire out your house. You know, like, you want to be able to trust you on that level to say, hey, I got you. You're obviously to me, you're in the right hands. So I got you. Everything is going to be fine. So I really, really loved everything that you talked about, and as well as the steps. I feel like it's very important to initially have these kind of conversations with your clients, because they're also in self-doubt themselves, because obviously they were like, oh, I'm not too sure what I'm going to wear. So reassuring them and saying to them that, hey, you know what? You're in good hands. We're going to build upon that look. Because with that, it comes with growth for them to try and explore different things. And everybody loves to get those compliments like, wow, I love your outfit. This looks great. Or people love that. So that's going to initially build their confidence as well. So that I feel like stylists are they are a lot of other things. They're a coach, you know, they really
definitely a coach.
Build who you are. So I feel like stylist is just one of the things that a stylist do. They have many different facets.
Yes.
So one other question that I did initially want to discuss was, as an independent stylist and a business owner, what are some of the struggles that you do face?
Well, I try to be as unbiased as possible. So I'm always going to promote my business as part of their look.
Right.
It just kind of comes hand in hand. I also have to understand that, hey, that may not be the look they're going for, and be absolutely okay with it. So for the most part, what I do during the consultation, I'm trying to find out what look are we going for? Why do you want this look? Based off of that, okay, let's break down this look, and let's structure it the way that you want to see it. And then I'm going to then give some advice, give some information on what I see and how we can create that. Now, I'll toss in the bow, I'll toss in some accessories, and if they're okay with that, then we move forward. If they're not okay with it, we move forward. And still allowing that trust and comfort to trump anything that I, quote unquote, may want to see. So it's really just balancing out the needs of my clients over mine. It's not necessarily about me. We're already here. You know, you trust me enough that you want to see me bring something out in you. So that's all I'm really focused on. And later on, if that's something that you want to do, we can create that. So
wonderful. I really love that, you know, your response to that, because I think that really identifying those things will definitely say, hey, this is how I can work towards this in the future as well. So very, very good. Thank you for that. I definitely want to get into more fun things. I definitely wanted to talk about New York Fashion Week. Not saying that struggles are not fun, because we learn from them. But I definitely wanted to know, I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on New York Fashion Week. That's where you and I had met. Your feelings towards that. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, New York Fashion Week is just it's a grand moment in itself. I mean, that was my first time out there, and that lit a fire in me for my drive all the way back to Cleveland, Ohio, to just continue to create and work and build on everything that I put down and put, you know, in a bag. I said, no, I gotta get going. I gotta work. So being around different designers and different names, different people that I've only seen on blogs, on IG, and shaking hands with them, you know. That was a moment of, the best word I can use is, I was grateful, very grateful that I was in that room. And I love to network. I love to talk to people. I love to connect and find ways that I can learn or just build later on. And there I see Lady Marcy and Sir Vidal. See both of you all there at the event. And I said, these outfits, as you heard before, I just walked right up. Hi.
Yes.
I'm loving these outfits. Okay. All of this, the patterns, the combination, the color. This is great. I need to know who you all are, you know, at that point. So I'm going to find myself attracted to people that share the same creativity as me. And from there on, we've been great. We've been inseparable.
Yes, I agree. And you know, for everybody, this is definitely my guy. Much love. Yes, I could definitely talk a little bit more about that event. That event was sponsored by Claire Summers. She is the CEO of Fashion Bomb Daily. So what she did was she had up and coming designers that were walking in a kind of like a small boutique show. And it was really great. And the great thing about that initial show, it was like everybody that was up and coming. So it was things that you would not necessarily see like in Vogue. Like to me, honestly, it was better because you're seeing real people, real perspectives. You're seeing people that represents everybody that you see outside of just one standard image of beauty. You see representation, you see diversity. It was everything that it needed to be. And even
Yeah.
talking a little bit about your outfit, I think your tie as well. I don't know if you remember the tie, but the tie was just amazing. That was another thing that truly gravitated towards you. And I think it's very important that you make those connections, genuine connections, and
Yeah.
show your support because we're living in a time where word of mouth will get you quicker than a resume.
Facts.
So yes, you know what I mean. So
Yes.
I really encourage that. Even though the situation of New York Fashion Week right now, I know there've been talks about initial brands that are going to be having shows, some digital, etc. But do not let that stop you from networking. I feel that Instagram is a place where you got to send people an email, send them a comment, network, express your support for them, support their brand, support your brand. So I really encourage everybody to really take that time. If you have somebody that you're following or you love their stuff, reach out to them and let them know how much it means to them. You know, it definitely means a lot. And again, I'm so happy that we met because even getting a chance to know you and see how far you from then till now,
Yeah.
it's truly a transformation that is amazing. So very nice, very
Very
nice. I do want to move along to one of the following questions is how has COVID affected your business, if at all?
So I would definitely say that this pandemic is serious.
Yeah.
This virus is real, and it has definitely affected my business. So coming into 2020, I had huge plans. I already had clients set up. Of course, you know, with outfits and styling, I have proms. You know, and this year I set a date. I meant not a date. I set a number by a certain date. I was going to have this many by this time. I was going to have this many weddings by this time. Corona said no. so,
Yes.
so watching things decline quickly, watching clients worry and in fear, even some that still stuck it out, they just feared how this was all going to come together. Their safety, of course, and just trying your best now as a stylist, as a designer, being a comforter. I have to make sure, hey, everything's going to be okay. You know, whatever we need to do within this time span, we're going to make sure it gets done.
Right.
You know, if things do change, if things get too far where we can't handle certain things, I'll make sure that we still make this the best moment for you all.
Right.
And some of the weddings, of course, based on the venues not being open anymore, based on the quantity of people not being there, some things were postponed. Great. They still reached out. I still reached out, and we found a way to still make sure that, hey, this wasn't done in vain, that we're still able to have something later on, or we're still able to work together, maybe on a different day, maybe the next year. Whatever that situation brought, we still found a way to make a solution out of it. So it definitely impacted the way that I do business. Most of my work is done, you know, at a more enclosed location versus the studio that I'm in, and I'm okay with that. It's a learning experience, and it's a process that I think, in a sense, we all needed to go through. Not saying that we needed this bad event, but we needed this moment to take a step back and solidify what we're doing, understand how we're doing it, and excel better. Let's say something else does come up. We're able to then navigate how we need to work, how we need to survive, and how we need to create solutions for ourselves. So, yes, it's affected me, but I see the silver lining.
Great. Great that you said that, because I think it is very important that we have to learn how to pivot at this time. Like, okay, well, things were traditionally done this way. Well, we're going to take it to another digital approach, or we're going to kind of really improvise. So kudos to you for seeing that vision for yourself and for your brand and saying, you know what, if it's not done this traditional way again, well, I have this idea and it's going to work for all of us, and it's going to be a safe way for us to be able to still collaborate, because it's so important right now. And I definitely know that in the future, things are definitely going to get better. And I know that, you're going to be able to continue providing that experience, because it's an experience with yourself and how you interact with your clients.
Thank you. Yes. Even just as you said, pivot. When all of my clients went away, the main thing that was our focus, which is still today, masks. So I instantly jumped on it, and I've been creating masks ever since. I make them to even match your bow tie if you wanna create a set. So just small things, small ways that we were able to adjust to this, issue at hand. And luckily for the clients that know me and people that have, learned of who I am in between this period of time, have definitely noticed how caring and how attentive I am when it comes to how business needs to be ran during this period of time. Whether it needs to be, meeting over IG or Zoom, whether it needs to, be a lot more emails versus calls. No matter how we have to set it up, I'm still going to make myself available to be the best designer, the best businessman that I can be.
Wonderful. Very good. I'm very happy to hear about that. And again, everybody that's watching, I really and truly, encourage you all to definitely go check out Wayne, check out his stuff, check out his page, follow him, and give him feedback. So definitely, that's so important. Additionally, I wanted you to also kind of speak about your community engagement, you going into schools and helping students as well. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. That is another love of mine. I love to just reach back. I'm an older brother of two younger brothers, and just making sure that I'm that example to them in every way. I see myself in them based on how they look, how they hold their head up high, how they represent themselves, how they also do outreach for people as well. And for the youth, for the young men that I speak to, that's my main focus, is how can I make sure that you see a worthy example out of me. So I go through, and actually not to say go through, I work with a young lady, Lady Jawan Smith. She has a company, nonprofit, called Getting Our Babies to College. And the sector that I work through is called 1000 Ties. So what we do is we bring in as many of our young men as possible between a certain age group. And within that time period, let's say on a Saturday, we will separate in different workshops, talk about etiquette, talk about college prep, talk about different things, mannerisms that would help someone or help the young man grow into someone that he is yet to become, that he will be proud of. And then the next step is they come see me. And I then put the icing on the cake in a way. I speak to them about the etiquette of dress. Why should you look a certain way? Why you should walk a certain way? Why does this matter in our society? Why should you represent yourself well? And we go through different steps. I love engaging. So I'm constantly talking to the kids and having them answer questions back to me, because I want them to not only just sit there on a Saturday morning, but I want them to feel like, hey, I'm glad I'm here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So from that, once they're hyped, once I get them going, our next step is to present them with all of the ties. And from there, I'll take maybe 2 to 3 kids, and there's other men, other possible mentors there as well that will assist them learning how to tie a tie or perfect it. There was even some bow ties in the batch, and they instantly ran to me. Mr. Wayne, can you help me tie this? Yes, let's do it. You know, and it's just fun participating in that environment because they're learning, I'm engaging. You can see it in their eyes that they're happy and they're appreciating this moment. You know, and even from there, just as I mentioned with the possible mentoring, we are able to mentor these kids if they so ask for it. So I have 2 mentees right now from my last event, and this is a very heartfelt moment. Just having a young man say he's in 3rd grade and he just graduated to 4th. Wow. He walked right up to me and held a very, very well conversation, and at the end asked me, "Hey, Mr. Wayne, may you be my mentor?" And whoo, you know, normally I don't get into the fields, but it almost got me.
Wow.
And it just warmed my heart that,
too.
yeah, you know, at a young age, they wanted to represent themselves well and saw me as that example. Wow. So that was powerful. And that's what I want to continue to do. I want to continue to pour into the youth and help them see the individual within themselves, understand that, hey, they don't have to look like everyone, that they don't have to be like everyone, that they can represent themselves well just how they are. Oh. And it may not be a full 2-piece or 3-piece suit. It might not be a bow tie all the time. Yet your dress does dictate how people perceive you. And I want you to at least know that so that you can represent yourself well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that is just truly amazing. And like you said, the youth, it really starts from a young age, knowing who you are and really developing that sense of style and that personality. And it's just really encouraging to just say to them that, hey, you know what? This is the possibilities here, and just exposing them to that at such a young age, because I feel that sometimes if they're not exposed to it then, when they're exposed to it later on, it's more of a struggle, like, I don't know, whatever. So I truly, truly, truly love the initiative, and I love what you're doing. And oh man, I want everybody to again take a page of your look. I think there's pictures on your page, right? I know on Facebook there are pictures of when you were going to the schools. I think on your Instagram, is there pictures, correct?
There are some. I'll have to upload some more, but yes, they are definitely
just like I said, add away and you'll be able to see that. At this time, I will be taking questions from the audience. If you have some questions, please make sure to drop them below. We are getting close to the hour mark, so Instagram will kick us off. I hate that. So I want to be able to make sure you have enough time. So if you have any questions, please make sure to drop those. So my last question for you is, how can we continue to support you? Let us know about your website and how we could be able to support you.
Absolutely. So the company, once again, is called The Royal Ties. I'm Mr. Wayne. My website is www.whoismrwayne.com. There you will see the most available of luxury items, the bow ties, accessories. It is constantly growing. I am currently working on a lot right now. Within quarantine, my brain is just it's packed. So I'm pouring it out, getting a lot of new looks out for you all, and also working on new different ventures with styling and garments. So it is in the works. Hopefully, if you all go to the website and sign up for the newsletter, I'll keep you all posted. If you all follow me on IG, which you all can do right there, Mr. Wayne The Royal Ties. I'll keep you all posted as well. And all support, any comments that you want to, give me, any messages that you would like to just send my way. All positivity helps, from the smallest fist emoji to clapping, reaction, all of it helps in the slightest ways. And it really, really means the world to me. So I thank you all definitely for, being here and listening to my story and hearing Lady Mossie's talk. And
thank you.
It's just a great time.
It's wonderful. I want to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you for telling us about your story and how we're able to support you. And I think especially everything that is going on right now, it is great to be reminded of those positive stories, about those positive gains, and also that hard work that others that are doing, that are like-minded like yourselves, creative stylists, people in the fashion industry alike, whatever. It's so inspiring to be reminded of the initial hard work and how you're trying to move forward. So I mean, I feel like that just put a battery in my back, like, hey, you know what? You can't give up now. Like, you have
Oh,
to
no.
so nice. Thank you so much, Mr. Wade. Let me
Thank you.
see if there's any more questions. Sometimes
Okay.
it's always like a delay on my IG thing, so I hardly get a chance to see. So we do have 1 more minute remaining. I will take any other last questions or comments from the audience, but in the meantime, I do definitely want to say thank you so much for your time,
You are
for
so
your
welcome.
opportunity. I feel like I'm just honored to speak with you, to be honest. It was just yes, it was great. It was truly, truly great to get to know you. And definitely let me know when you're up in New York. Hopefully, once things get a little bit better, a little bit
Yeah.
safer. Yes, it will be
That was
cool.
our plan. That was our plan last year to go back to New York. This year, I was going to come early, and yeah, things shifted. But nonetheless, as soon as things open up, are safe once again, and opportunity presents itself, you already know.
Yes,
Coming back.
definitely, definitely. Well, New York awaits you, and the energy awaits you too. So he says, go follow my guy. He's definitely dope. Yes, I do encourage that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Go follow Mr. Wayne. So unfortunately, we have come to the end of this live. I do not want it to cut off so abruptly because we definitely have to give Mr. Wayne a round of applause for his time today. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you. Please keep in touch again. Send me that information. I'll repost it on my page. And please make sure to share this live to all your friends, your family, so you can support Who is Mr. Wayne. So until next time, thank you so much and have a great evening. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.